I am NetMoverSitan. And yes, I want to do more on the tunnel network beneath the surface. It's been a while since I've done that. You know what, I might do a search for more end cities off camera for next week. How does that sound? Oh yes. And I'm nearing the end game for Soul Blights. And hang on! Is my skin back? The one that I somehow couldn't upload. It took long enough to fix that problem. Oh yes, and as for the arena, I have successfully blocked off with dirt a part of it, and I'm working on the next one. Digging up some snow on top of the arena base. Yes. I haven't got around creating the arena itself yet. Don't worry, I will. In fact, I'm stockpiling stone bricks while I'm at it. That reminds me, I must remember to get some end stone. Well, it's certainly useful for what I have planned for it. Let's see, which should I do next week? The end, the nether, or something on the overworld? Well, I'm sure I'll work something out at some point. But for now, I want to complete this tunnel and connect it with the rest of the network. Oh yes, and at this point I've completely uploaded test expected behavior. Ooh, diamonds! Yes, those are mine. Where was I? Oh yes, test expected behavior. I've completed that one. The uploads of it, I mean. And as of this point, if Master Reboot hasn't started uploading, it's certainly getting close to that. Yeah. An exploration game with psychological horror, which has a Welsh language option. Yeah, a bit obscure, but provided me with amusement. Must remember at some point to start something new before all of that is uploaded. Let's just say it's not exactly long, and I also have a limited amount of Soul Blight videos to upload. Now that's not counting the Taints guides. I make Taints guides as they get released. And there's one Taint that's pretty much consistent. Oh yeah, and if I want to truly complete the game, let us just say that it will require some off-camera preparation, and a change in how I do things. Well, if I want to avoid dying before I get there. Okay. Let's see. There's a lot of insanity in this world, isn't it? I mean, even by my standards. And I'm not exactly the picture of mental health, am I? I mean, just look at Alien Isolation. For most, that'd probably be enough to encourage bedwetting nightmares. But for me, although I take it seriously, it doesn't affect me in that way. Ooh, gold! Yes. Oh, let's see. Did I just turn into Warwick Davis there? Warwick Davis, a certain dwarven actor. Although not the kind of dwarves from many fantasy series. As in the kind with huge beards. Oh yes, missed that bit. Yes. That's gold. Mine! Let's see. Yeah. I have a plan on what I'm starting next, and then after that. And after that? Who knows? Oh yes, there's that. Although, for now I'll keep quiet about it. I don't want to spoil the surprise. Let's focus on what's more immediately in need of completion. And that is Soulblight. A top-down action RPG that takes role-playing to be quite literally. I mean, can you imagine what would happen if a first-person shooter had similar mechanics? Where what you did in-game determined what you were best at and what you were worst at. That'd probably make a first-person shooter pretty interesting. Although a little hard to implement. But not impossible. Depends on how good the developer is. It helps to have the right attitude as well. For example, those who believe that the customer is never right. That's not the right attitude. In fact, there are some developers, both in the AAA sector and the indie sector of the game industry, who have that mentality. The wrong type of mentality. Which goes to show that it doesn't matter if you're one of these well-established game companies, or a game company that has no affiliation with them, wants to do their own thing. If you don't have the right attitude towards business, well, you're not exactly going to be loved, are you? And yeah, I'm not going to build around this lava flow. I want to build through it, and that requires using water to cool it down. Yeah, the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line. But in Minecraft, that's more complicated, because the straight line needs to be made, and the straight line can sometimes have some lava in the way, doesn't it? Oh no, let's hope it isn't a song of the same title. And yes, achievements seem to reset after major updates. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. Oh, and as for this project that I'll be starting at some point, it probably won't be omen science. Which is what would happen if Majora's Mask was a bit more Groundhog Day than it ended up being. Which should be interesting when I eventually get around to it. And Time Spinner, a Metroidvania with time travel elements, along with what I refer to in Test Expected Behavior as the power of hammer. Just look at what it does and you'll get the reference. Much like I call the power of pot as the ability to slow time down, and the power of share. Ooh, water, yes. I believe you know what that is. Right. And as for the power of hell, no, just no. That's mostly from the decade that taste forgot. And when I mean taste, that's not just flavour. I mean, there's a problem then that's only gotten worse in more recent times. When the people in straitjackets are running everything, You know something's bad. I mean, I might be a bit barking, but I'm not that barking. I mean, where I'm talking about and thinking of... I think I've seen this bit. Well, I'll plug over the gas. That must mean I'm getting close. Should have brought the Silk Touch shovel. That at least would give me something to fill in the base in the Wither Arena. Or rather, under the base. I seem to get more amusement out of games that require a bit more thought towards actions. Much like Dishonored, the Thief series, not the reboots. Let's see, Square Enix should have stuck with Final Fantasy. At least that's more consistent. Yeah, I'm still a bit bitter about them ruining Thief and Legacy of Kain. Yeah, anyway. Also, Alien Isolation. The kind of game where you need to think about what you need to do is direct combat in two of those games is suicidal. And as for Dishonored, well, you could enter direct combat and kill them, but actions have consequences. Oh yes, and then there's System Shock 2, where there's a lot of lore for those willing to find it, and you also need to choose wisely with what you invest into. Because unless you save from a previous point, or go back to the beginning, you can't reset. In fact, that game was what Bioshock was the spiritual successor of. It combined first-person shooting with an almost RPG element. Oh yes, and some of the people who worked on the Bioshock series, they worked on other things like Deception. A psychological horror and exploration game where you're in the perspective of a blind man and perceive the world as if you were dead. I can tell you I was invested in the plot of that one. Oh yes, and as for the Metro series, where the third game in the series is coming soon, and it's looking to have a change of scenery. Yeah. I've read the source material for the first game. Let's just say that they made a few modifications to the plot to make it fit in with the first-person aspect of the game. Because a few things in the game weren't in the book. And as for some of the locations in the game, let's just say that I have a reliable source of this. They are recognizable if you ignore the dilapidated state inside the game itself due to the post-apocalyptic scenario. Oh, and no, as my source would not appreciate me disclosing that kind of information. Yeah, I'm gonna need to block it off using cobblestone. Yeah, I should really have been paying attention. Yeah, you can tell why. Well, you can tell that some places are run by an authoritarian regime. Let's see. In places like, I don't know, Britain, France, protest marches, they're tolerated as long as you don't do anything like property damage, physical assault, murder. Because while protest marches by themselves aren't criminal acts in those places, property damage, physical assault and murder, on the other hand, are. While in other places, protest marches are considered a threat to how things are, and need to be stamped out before they get worse. I mean, one of the worst cases of this, well, it's in China, where it's such a threat to the Communist Party's rule that it's even, yeah, it's forbidden even to speak of it openly in China. It's a subject that's sensitive even to this day. I mean, it doesn't matter where you do it in China. In person, over the phone, social media. They don't want people talking about that. Then again, I doubt they want them talking about many things. It says much about a regime like that, doesn't it? A regime that can't seem to feel safe unless you can't empty your... Well, you can't even empty your waste products without thinking about it. I mean, Big Brother clearly needs something more productive to do. If that's what he's spending his time on. It's disturbing how many are willing to let others think for them. To let all responsibility be given to people who, at best, might be grossly incompetent. No, that's too cruel. That's somewhere between. People who might, at least as far as they're concerned, mean well, but in the end, they're just as destructive. No, a bit less than that. Let's be honest. Than those who do it willfully. How easily some trade the right to speak as you see fit for something that they think they need, but comes with a price. I mean, you can't really... Well, unless you're a con artist that knows how not to get caught. You can't get something for nothing in this world. And the price you have to pay for some things might be higher than you're willing to pay. And have an interest rate so huge, it makes those loan companies, never mind loan sharks, look like they're offering a fair deal. Yeah, and there are actually some who, no matter how reasonable your offer is, they'll consider it a bad deal if they are the ones making it. That they feel entitled to being the one who solves the problem, even though by making things harder, they're not that much help at all. In fact, they're making things worse. And I doubt that's the first time that's happened. I seem to also recall a phrase that applies to this situation. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. All I have to say is, to those kinds of people, do you have any idea how that feels? Well, you'll get some idea if you watch that movie Groundhog Day. Yeah, you know, the one with Bill Murray in it, along with the song I Got You Babe. Yeah, where Bill Murray plays someone who is not the nicest of individuals. Well, certainly at the start of it. Well, you know how karma is. That certainly applied to him. Considering what happened to him in that movie. In fact, others use that formula. Well, I think that's as good a time as any to stop this. Until next time. Hail the rabbit!